carefully. That little bit. There's a specific reason for this. I didn't hear anybody explain this. Different people kind of explained it in ways that didn't really make sense to me. What it is, check this out. This is plastic. It's made of molecules that are lines. They're like strings. It's a bunch of strings inside of there that are bound to each other. The longer the piece that's sticking out is, when you go to cut it, the center is going to be pulling away from the material that's already there. All those strings that are connected to each other are going to be tearing each other apart as the blade comes by and tries to snip it off and pull it up. It all tears, and that's what leaves the white spot behind. The that. It's either because a piece is being broken off instead of cut, or even if I go more slowly with this, look at that, all that's white. It's because it's like spaghetti on the inside. And it's just pulling it away from the surface. But the shorter the distance that you cut, so the less you cut at one time, you're pulling shorter bits of spaghetti. They don't go as far down into the plastic, which is why the better cutters, with the better cutters, you're getting not only a sharper cut, but you also need to do less, cut less at one time. Cut that big, leave the big piece behind, and then just do slices, little slices, and then make your very final cut really, really, really thin. And then you don't have a bunch of sanding that you need to do at the end. You'll have a surface that just doesn't have the stress marks in there. And you can even use your thumbnail to just burnish it down. You're literally burnishing it down by pushing the polymers together. When it shows up white, it's just because there's a bunch of spaghetti that is opened up. When spaghetti is open, it turns into a refractive surface. It takes light and turns it in every kind of direction, because light hits the different spaghetti strands and bounces off in different directions, and it turns to white. Push all that together, and then there's no white anymore. Look at that. Now that obviously is not
so powerful and so wise.
Is not perfectly trimmed right now, but no stress mark. No wonder you can't get rid of your marks. It's everybody talks about the two cut technique, right? If I wanted to take this piece off down here, okay, you cut it once, right? And then you cut it once again, right? Once far away from the piece, and then once up close. Well, that's not helping. Also, you see that center right there? That's where it completely pulled apart. That's where the spaghetti was stretched so hard that it eventually broke, even though I'm using a good cutter. So you need to take the little slices, make your last cut thin. This one I went a little bit too hard at the end, but there's so little stretched spaghetti. Again, fingernail can burnish down a lot of that. You can see how it's getting there. You see how the white is going away? I'm just pushing the pieces back, the strands of spaghetti back together. There we go. No stress mark. And that's not a 5.0 God hands. It's the mid-range ones, you know. But that's the thing. I wish that was talked about more.
Gundam.
Don't worry about two cut. Yeah, cut far away from the piece. The key is that your last cuts need to be really, really thin. Hopefully that is of some value. Never knew why that was. Seems so logical now, as you know. Yeah, the length of the polymer chains. that you're pulling up. Canada Christopher, hello. Indulgent, welcome back. I recommended you have kids since they're targeted